Can you tell us what happened to you? Judgment.
We have the spookiest, scariest show to date.
What up, Placer? Yes, we do. This is going to be phenomenal. If you don't know John, you should. John is from Full Spectrum Paranormal. What up, John? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. So let's just get right into this. How did you get started? I mean, I gotta know. I'm very interested.
I was one of those weird kids that watched, like, I grew up watching In Search Of, like the reruns of that.
Leonard Nimoy.
Unsolved Mysteries, Sightings in the 90s, and I grew up watching that and just reading, like, the Time Life, was it the Mysteries of the Universe series.
I have those books.
Yeah.
I actually have them. My folks still have those books, yes.
Yeah, watching that and just reading, all the, different lore on hauntings and, like, Bigfoot phenomenon, UFOs. And so, like, as I got older, I was like, when I became an adult, I'm like, why can't I investigate this stuff? And so I started just kind of educating myself on how to, gather evidence, do the, trying to apply the scientific method to it, but, keeping like an open-minded skepticism about things. Because, and so I started right around like 2000. 2001 is when I started like actively going to haunted locations. And, like there's, surfing the internet, like, oh, there's a bunch of haunted lore about this cemetery. I'm gonna go check this out, and started out with just like a film camera and a little digital audio recorder and a flashlight, and in a car because you always need to go.
Right.
So.
That works.
Through that, I kind of like developed my, how my method, which is I'm open to like psychic phenomenon, and psychic abilities, but I also want to make sure that
it's legit.
Yeah, make sure it's
debunk
legit.
it if it needs to be debunked.
Yeah. And so I started. I went with some friends to different basically haunted cemeteries. They're all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And those, if you're going to do a haunted cemetery, do it in the daytime because otherwise you're trespassing, and then you make it harder for everyone else.
Ah, thank you very much. That's huge. Did you guys get that? Because I know I've gotten in trouble for trespassing in a cemetery at night in Colma, California. So just to let you know. Anyway, here we go.
Colma.
Colma, yes.
That's I've been up there. There's it's the Chinese apothecary.
Actually, no, not Coloma.
Oh, not
Colma, which is down in
Oh.
the Bay Area on the peninsula. It's right next to South San Francisco, Daly City, and San Bruno.
Oh, check.
There are more dead people there than living.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's when they did the San Francisco did the whole weird no dead bodies in the city, so we're going to move all the bodies.
Exactly.
Which is really interesting. Side note, if you are in Golden Gate Park and you look at the little curbs, those are old headstones.
I heard that.
There's a couple. Yeah. They basically just moved the bodies. They would move the bodies. I'm using quotations because there was a big scandal because they'd pay people like, well, it's $1 a body, and if you cut a body in half, it's 2 bodies.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey John, today, what has been your most memorable investigation?
Most memorable investigation. There's 2. One of them is we did an overnight investigation at Preston Castle, working with the docents, where you can basically, our paranormal group rented it out, and we had a 10-hour window from it was 7 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning. was a fantastic. I personally didn't experience anything.
Wow.
But it just being there at night, the history of that, because that's like the first youth reformatory.
And that's in Lodi, right?
That is in Ione.
Ione, that's it. I always.
Yeah. And then the other one is our group did the USS Hornet with the doses.
In San Francisco.
Alameda.
Yeah.
We did, and it was an overnight, and it's one like our group. Everyone had. It was a little pricey because we basically, it was just our group.
Yeah.
And so we kind of like had to. They have like different rates for groups. And we did basically, it's an overnight. We got to sleep in the bunks, sleep in the barracks. Wow. Again, I think I was just like so excited to like, I'm on a freaking aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And we can go all over the place. And there was, we slept in the barracks, and some of the members of the group reported hearing people walking up and down.
Oh, wow.
In the barracks when nobody was there.
That's pretty cool.
But those are like probably my two most memorable investigations, just because like the history of those.
And there's a lot of history, not only in California, Northern California, but there's also a lot of history here in Placer County. My understanding is here in Lincoln, the old, what is it? It's not Cattleman's. It's the old, it's now double barrel.
It used to be Beerman's.
Beerman's, thank you, that's it. I've heard that the third floor has spirits. Now, how true that is, I don't know. I haven't been there, I haven't done it, but boy, I think that would be fun.
That's an amazing building.
Yeah, it is. It's from the 1800s, that building, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Well, when COVID lifts and we're able to get out and investigate, we'll look into getting in there and see if you guys are interested in coming along.
So John, do you have a dream location that you really want to do?
There's Alcatraz, but I don't know. I want to see if there's anything to the legends of Bobby Mackey's World of Music.
Yes.
That's one of the ones, and also
that place is freaky.
Are you familiar with the Bell Witch?
Yes.
There is a cave in Adams, I believe it's Adams, Tennessee.
I think so.
Where a lot of people have reported encountering her spirits.
And that cave is supposed to be unbelievably ginormous, if I remember correctly.
I think like Kentucky and Tennessee, a lot of that's like one of the largest cave networks in North America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you down here with us? Can you bang twice on the wall or on the floor? 2 knocks. Did you all hear that? Was that you?
I thought that was you.
No. Okay, that was you. Thank you.
So John, can you tell us about one of your most fascinating encounters?
It would be I think it's the Hotel Jeffrey. It's one of those experiences that it's a subtle experience, but it happened, was it like 13, 14 years ago, and I still haven't been able to find an explanation.
Wow.
And the hotel's kind of on a corner, so it has kind of like an L shape. And there's like a little alleyway that they've turned into like an office buildings where they have like their surveillance cameras and stuff, and like I think they have like their router and everything. And I was using a tri-field meter, and it was set on magnetic, so it wasn't picking up the electrical stuff. It only picks up magnetic field.
Okay. After you get done with this thought, Could you explain to the folks what that is maybe afterwards?
Yeah, and what I was, we had a young lady who was a psychic, and she was communicating with the spirits. And now the tri-field has like the old needle, like a graphic equalizer, right? And I was holding it, and she was communicating with the spirit, and for a period, like just a couple seconds, the spirit was communicating through her, through partial possession.
Oh, wow.
And the needle for the meter responded in fluctuation to her voice as she was talking. It basically,
so as she was saying something, it was doing.
Yeah, it was like the old graphic equalizer
yeah.
on the radios, how the needle would go in fluctuation with talking. And
Whoa.
I still have not experienced that again, and I can't find an explanation for that.
That's unbelievable.
Because after that happened, I spent like the next 45 minutes trying to recreate it with like the equipment, the computers, and everything was in sleep mode, and so it wasn't, nothing was registering. But it's like I was pegged over here, nothing, and then it just started moving in fluctuation with her voice.
So for you, because I know for me, like already, the hair is standing up on my arms just thinking of it. Do you get that feeling too?
Sometimes, but a lot of times, I just have a very quizzical mind. So it's like when that happens, I'm like, what's causing this?
And why is it doing it? And,
and so it's like my brain's trying to do all that, so it doesn't process like there's something supernatural going on. Maybe you shouldn't be comfortable with this.
That's pretty cool.
So has there any? I mean, you're quizzical and you want to figure things out. Has anything ever kind of spooked you? Like you went, whoa! Like it was a little too much.
No, not during an investigation. We were at a hotel, and we were staying the night after an investigation, and it was.
You saw the bill.
No, I didn't see the bill. I did not see the bill. It was it was like I had a sleep paralysis experience that a lot of people have reported having a very negative sleep paralysis. And it's like the first time I've had it in this room, and I've slept in this room multiple times. And that, it didn't scare me, but I mean, it pissed me off.
Yeah, like why are you doing this?
Because I've always approached it as, they're, horror movies, everyone's like, oh, what if a ghost kills you? And it's like, well, then we're on the same playing field. So now it's problems worse.
Yeah, exactly.
So
now I know that I had mentioned, could you explain it, or do you have anything that you could show us while you're explaining it with you?
Yeah, I have my equipment over there. I don't have a tri-field meter, but I have it's an EMF meter that has let's see here. Here's all of the toys. And this is you can get this on Amazon for about $40. This is a cell sensor. It has a portable sensor that plugs in here that you can control, and it's a single access, meaning it only goes one way.
Okay.
The triple access is it has a forward sensor, and then it has two sensors going to the sides. So it kind of does a half circle range. And this has the old, I don't know if you can see this, the old needle.
Yeah.
And how it happened, what I experienced is this was moving in fluctuation with the person's, with their speech.
Wow.
So this right here was touched by an entity, essentially.
Not this one here.
Okay.
I have taken this on.
But similar.
But similar. I've had a K2 meter. These are good for doing, like, if you're doing an EVP session, you can try and get something to cause the lights to light up. But this is also something you have to be mindful of. If you're using walkie-talkies, you key the mic, you get a false reading. If it's too close to a phone that sends a text or receives a text, same thing. Okay. Then you have audio recorder. This is, this is like the first one I had. This is ancient.
Nice.
This one has it does a stereo sound. You can also plug in your headphones and listen to it while you're recording, and you can hear a lot of stuff. And what I like about this one is you can adjust the sensitivity to the microphones. Okay. So you can bump it up so it's a little bit more sensitive, and it kind of, you can control, like, you know how when you do an audio recording you get that hiss?
Yeah.
You can adjust the sensitivity of the microphone so that way it doesn't get too much of that.
Nice.
Here is an IR illuminator that works in tandem with this video camera. This is just an HD outdoor little video camera. It's a Bell & Howell. It does night vision, and then this is amplifies. And then this is just a regular Sony Handycam that has more better optics for doing interviews or doing documenting like if we're doing residential, we like to go through and kind of, when we set everything up, document how we set everything up, because you know, if you don't have a video camera, use photos, because you know, then you don't have to go back like, was that cabinet door open? Was it not?
How many cameras do you usually put up in an investigation? Like say a house like this.
Like this, we do probably about 4, and then have some hand cameras that we have moved with us.
Nice.
We'll usually set up in like any locations that have the most activity. We'll set them up there, and then have like a camera moving with the team as they're going, because sometimes activity is not in the kitchen where the camera's at.
Right.
Sometimes it's over in the bathroom or on the stairwell.
Yeah.
So, and then you know, here you got like this is the radio or video. You've seen it where it scans through the radio.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called to save my life right now.
They're shack hacks, squawk boxes,
yes.
spirit boxes, all the different names for it.
And we want to thank John and his team, because as you've been watching this, and we're obviously filming this and you don't see this, but on the show you've already seen that we've posted some videos and some audios as you've been watching and seeing some of the stuff that he's done, as well as we're talking, and obviously we're going to add even some more to